Hello YouTube, today I will be talking about my Raspberry Pi 3 Model B Plus and how it is configured. So, the first thing we want to start with is what is a Raspberry Pi? If you don't already know, a Raspberry Pi is, it's like a mini $30 computer, pretty much. And what's cool about this is it's really like STEM accessible. Like you can do a lot of stuff with like kids and programming and stuff on it, but you can also do some cool stuff like hosting a server or doing other stuff like that. And that's honestly, I'm less interested in coding on it and more interested in like messing around and doing fun experiments on it and stuff. That's the whole reason I bought it, and I've been able to get some fun out of it. So recently I uploaded a video about how I set up a Raspberry Pi or a Minecraft server, Minecraft PC Edition server on my Raspberry Pi, and I wanted to talk about the specs of my Raspberry Pi. So, in a minute here, it should pop up on the screen soon. Hold on, give me a sec, let me get it all configured and good. And then you'll be able to see that. Those are the default specs of my Raspberry Pi, of a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, which is the one that I'm using. It's 1.4 gigahertz processor clock speed and like 1 gigabyte of RAM. And close to 1 gigabyte of RAM because the graphics card used some of the RAM, so it's not actually. I think it's closer to like 900 or 800 megabytes. But anyway, those are the default specs. Of a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. My 3B Plus is running at 1.5 gigahertz. I have my processor configured to 1.5 gigahertz to get a little extra performance out of it, and I have a case with heat sinks. If you don't know what a heat sink is, it's like a thing you put on top of the processor to draw some heat off of it. And fans, so still draw heat off of the thing. I have a fan on my case. 1 gigabyte of RAM. I have something called swap memory on my Raspberry Pi. What swap memory is you plug in a USB stick. I'm using a USB stick for mine. And you create something called a swap file on it, which is like storage space on the USB stick, but it uses that storage space as RAM. So I have like a 400 megabyte swap file, and it uses some of that as RAM. So that's just my configuration. I think there is dangers of swap files. I think if you have a swap file on like a USB stick or like a hard drive, I think it can reduce the life of it, but it's just like a spare USB stick that I had lying around that I never use anyway. It's only like 500 megabytes. I don't really have a use for it, so I decided I'll use it as swap. So basically I'm running at like closer to 1.4 gigabytes of RAM and 1.5 gigahertz. So that's that. I'm not sure how well a Minecraft server runs on a stock Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, because mine's a little torqued. Mine's been a little tweaked to make it run a bit better. And yeah, so I just wanted to talk about my specs a little. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Maybe you'll look at these specs. Maybe you'll set up a swap file. Be careful though. I do not recommend overclocking because you can screw up your processor, I think. I think you can damage your Raspberry Pi. I think you can void your warranty. And I do not recommend setting up overclocking or setting up a swap file unless you research the cost and the risk and the reward. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you learned something. See you guys next time.